Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're asking, can AI actually make music more human?
Interesting question.
Yeah, we're going to crack open how algorithms can mirror your brain's love of, surprise chords and why math is secretly the composer behind every hit.
And we'll even talk about how a paralyzed musician just dropped an entire album using AI that reads her thoughts. It's pretty groundbreaking.
Absolutely. This isn't about robots taking over, is it? It's more about expanding what's possible when tech, well, meets soul.
That's exactly what we're diving into. Our mission today is to explore this really fascinating intersection of artificial intelligence and music.
Right.
We're pulling insights from cutting-edge scientific research, some incredible artistic collaborations, and even the very biology of how we perceive sound.
So we'll look at the data, the surprising facts.
Exactly, and what it all means for you, the listener, and maybe your future relationship with music.
Okay, so let's unpack this. When we think AI and music, yeah, maybe we picture robots. But the truth seems to be that music, at its very core, is surprisingly mathematical.
It really is.
Think about every note you hear, every chord progression, every rhythmic pulse. They're all governed by, what, precise ratios, sequences, even fractal-like structures.
It's like this invisible symphony playing out in numbers before it even hits our ears.
Wow.
And what's truly fascinating here is how AI leverages this mathematical structure that's already there.
How does it do that?
Well, machine learning algorithms, specifically things like Markov chains and neural networks,
Yeah.
they're essentially sophisticated pattern architects.
Okay, Markov chains, neural networks. Break that down a bit.
Sure. So Markov chains basically predict the next note or chord based just on what came right before it. They learn the probabilistic rules of music, like if
Yeah.
you play this chord, this next one is likely.
Ah, okay. Probability.
Right. Neural networks, on the other hand, learn more like we do by example. They listen to, thousands and thousands of tracks to learn different styles.
But AI does this on a massive scale, right?
An unprecedented scale. It identifies these subtle connections and structures that, honestly, even a seasoned human composer might overlook.
So it finds patterns we miss.
Exactly. And this allows AI to generate incredibly complex harmonic progressions that can be both novel and mathematically elegant. Or it can optimize arrangements using something called combinatorial mathematics.
Combinatorial mathematics. Okay, that sounds pretty technical.
It does, but let's try a metaphor.
Please.
Imagine AI is like a chef, but instead of tasting every soup in the world to invent a new recipe,
Right.
it's analyzing every possible combination of instruments, notes, toppings in a complex piece of music. It's exploring billions, maybe trillions of arrangements to find the one that sounds the best, the most impactful.
The one that just hits right.
Precisely. Finding that elegant solution, that perfect combination, could take a human composer years, maybe a lifetime.
Okay, so give me an example.
Well, OpenAI's MuseNet is a good one. It's an AI tool that can create really intricate counterpoint.
That's like multiple melodies playing at once.
Yeah, two or more independent melodic lines playing together. Or polyrhythms, it's multiple different rhythms playing at the same time, creating this complex interlocking groove,
And it's all rooted in math.
all rooted in this deep mathematical understanding.
So for you listening right now, does understanding the math behind the music make it feel less magical? Or does it maybe reveal a whole new kind of wonder?
That's a really powerful question because the magic, I think, often lies in how our brains respond to these mathematical structures.
Okay, so connecting the math to us,
Mhm.
to our biology.
Exactly. It takes us from the mathematical underpinnings straight into our own biology. There's this whole field studying the brain on music.
Right.
Our auditory cortex neurons are constantly working, decoding pitch, timbre, even the emotion hidden in the sound.
And we get that joy from music.
A lot of that comes from dopamine release, yeah. Especially when we hear unexpected but pleasing harmonies. Our brains are basically wired for that kind of musical surprise and delight. We seek out those complex patterns.
Huh. So our brains, like the complexity AI can find.
It seems so. And here's where AI really becomes like a digital auditory system.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, neural networks can actually model human hearing,
Hmm.
right down to the really intricate mechanics of our cochlea.
The snail-shaped thing in the inner ear?
That's the one. It translates sound waves into electrical signals for your brain. By modeling this process, AI can create sounds that are specifically tuned to how your ear naturally perceives and interprets audio.
So it sounds more organic.
Incredibly organic, potentially. It's not just about generating notes anymore. It's about crafting a listening experience that resonates deeply with your innate auditory system.
So how does this blend of science and emotion actually work in practice?
Well, think about emotion synthesis AI. This tech can actually match music to biometric data, things like your heart rate or even EEG readings.
EEG brainwaves.
Electroencephalogram, yeah,
Yeah.
measures brain activity. So
Yeah.
picture an AI crafting a soundscape to calm you down when your heart rate spikes.
Or maybe energize you when your brainwaves show you need a focus boost.
Exactly. It's hyper-personalized music on a completely new level.
That's wild. Are there tools doing this now?
Well, a good example in a related space is AI mastering tools like Landar. They adapt to human perceptual biases. They sort of understand what makes a mix sound good to us humans.
Like what frequencies we find pleasing or maybe harsh.
Precisely. And then they apply that knowledge to create these really ear-friendly mixes.
So the question then becomes, when an AI mimics our auditory cortex,
Hmm.
how does that make music feel more alive, more resonant for you, the listener?
It really pushes the boundaries, which leads us beyond mimicry into this idea of like truly collaborative evolution.
Okay, evolution, like Darwinian music.
Yeah, exactly that concept, where musical ideas are treated like genes.
Mm,
Imagine an AI generating thousands of variations of a melody or a rhythm.
okay.
Then, through listener feedback loops where you, the audience, might indicate what you like or dislike, maybe with a simple swipe or a rating, the fittest ideas, the ones people respond to, are selected and evolve further. It's like a creativity on this accelerated, almost biological timeline.
Nurtured by collective human taste.
Right. And that evolutionary process isn't just about refining what exists. It's about radical innovation, too. Something we could call cross-genre mutations.
Cross-genre mutations, like
Well, AI has this incredible knack for blending culturally distinct styles that might seem totally unrelated to us.
for example.
Imagine combining the intricate rhythms and unique scales of West African kora music
Okay.
with the, say, shimmering synth arpeggios and deep bass lines of modern synthwave.
Wow, that's hard to picture, but intriguing.
AI can see patterns, connections, the underlying musical DNA
Hmm.
that human artists, maybe limited by their own cultural exposure, might not immediately spot. And that could spawn entirely new genres, sounds that feel both familiar and utterly fresh.
This is where the human AI collaboration gets really interesting, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Like Holly Herndon's Spawn AI. Tell me about that.
Right, so Spawn is an AI that collaborates with her in real time, in the studio. It's not just generating stuff, it's evolving vocal textures based on her input, responding to her artistic choices.
So it's like a musical partner.
A hyper-intelligent, always-on musical partner, yeah. One that can instantly explore millions of possibilities for just a single sound.
We often say AI handles the calculus.
The humans bring the catharsis.
Exactly.
It's about leveraging AI's power for that rapid iteration, the complex calculations, so the human artist can focus on the emotional depth, the story, the soul.
So for you listening, imagine using a tool like that. Does AI help you express something maybe you couldn't alone?
It's a powerful thought, isn't it? And it leads us naturally to how AI is breaking down some traditional barriers and even preserving legacies in music.
Democratizing music creation.
Absolutely. Think about AI apps like Amper or AIVA. They're empowering people who aren't trained musicians to compose their own tracks pretty easily.
So you don't need years of classical training or expensive gear anymore.
Not necessarily to create something meaningful, no. You might input a mood, a genre, maybe even hum a simple tune, and the AI helps you flesh out a full piece.
And it goes even further, right? Thinking about accessibility for disabled artists, that's truly inspiring.
It really is. Imagine projects like BrainBridge. It allows individuals with severe motor disabilities to compose just by thinking of the notes or using eye movements.
You mentioned an artist, Sarah.
Yeah, an artist who lost the use of her limbs. She recently used this kind of tech to complete a full orchestral album, translating her internal musical world into tangible sound for the first time in years.
Wow, that's incredible. It's not just assistive tech, it's unlocking human expression.
Profoundly human expression that was previously trapped. And what's also profound is AI's role in preserving culture.
How so?
It can reconstruct lost instruments or even entire musical styles from really sparse historical data.
Like ancient Greek melodies.
Imagine actually hearing them, not just theorizing. An AI could painstakingly analyze the fragments we have, bits of notation, descriptions of instruments, and recreate the sounds, the performance styles of extinct instruments like the aulos or the lyre.
It's like musical archaeology, resurrecting lost soundscapes.
Making sure cultural heritage isn't lost to time.
And there are other angles too, the more practical ones.
Like economic efficiency. AI can handle a lot of the repetitive, time-consuming tasks in music production, mixing, mastering, transcription.
Which frees up artists for the higher level creative stuff.
Exactly, focusing on the big ideas, the unique melodies, the emotional core instead of, the tedious grunt work.
And then there's hyper-personalization again, curating soundscapes for mental health.
Yeah, helping you find calm or focus based on your neurobiology, using tech to create unique sonic environments perfectly suited to your brain.
So, would you use an AI that writes choruses based on your heartbeat? The possibilities seem immense.
They really do.
Of course, when we talk about AI and creativity, that common concern always pops up. Is AI soulless?
It's the big question.
Yeah, it's a valid one. We hear it often. Does something generated by algorithms truly have that emotional depth we associate with human art?
And it's important to consider. But here's maybe a counterpoint. Think about a guitar. It's tech, right? Wood, strings, metal.
True.
What really matters is who wields it, how they play it, the emotion they put into it. AI doesn't replace artists. It extends their palette.
New brushes, new colors.
New ways to express its augmented creativity. And this balance also has ethical upsides we sometimes overlook.
Like what?
Well, think about royalty-free AI-generated stems for indie creators. That gives them access to high-quality musical building blocks without huge costs. It levels the playing field.
That's a good point.
Or AI's potential to maybe expose bias in the historical musical canon. By resurfacing marginalized patterns or voices that might have been overlooked by human gatekeepers, it could actually promote a more diverse musical landscape.
Right. Exactly. Ultimately, AI is a tool. Its impact, good or bad, really depends on human intent and creativity.
It's how we choose to wield this powerful technology that will define its legacy in music.
Hopefully shaping it for the better, making it more diverse, more accessible, and yeah, potentially even more human.
So we've really dug in today. We looked at how AI acts as this ultimate pattern architect, using music's mathematical core to create complexity. We explored how it mimics our own human perception, triggering dopamine with surprises, even becoming a digital auditory system tuned to our ears.
And we saw AI as a creative co-pilot, right? An evolutionary accelerator spawning new genres, helping artists.
Yeah, and we touched on its profound role in breaking down barriers, democratizing creation, preserving cultural legacies, and importantly, wrestling with those ethical questions.
That's right. We're not really entering an age of robot musicians. It feels more like an age of augmented creativity.
Where math meets biology to make music potentially more human than ever.
It's about expanding horizons, allowing new forms of expression to emerge. So, as AI continues to evolve our understanding of music, how might our very definition of what it means to be a musician or even a listener change?
What new forms of human expression, things we previously couldn't even imagine, might emerge when technology gets this deep understanding of sound and emotion?
That's the thought we want to leave you with today.